people are frustrated. People are getting burdened with all the increase in regulation and very concerned about the government is overreaching into our businesses and our lives. This country was formed by independent people, independent thinkers, people who had the ability to self-regulate themselves. And now what we have is more and more regulation, as though we don't have the intelligence or the ability to do that ourselves. The underlying issue is, in a nutshell, is overreaching government that is going to have an impact on customers in the form of possibly higher rates, small companies possibly going out of business, and ending in a deterioration of the network. The SEC is a coalition that was formed, small company coalition, formed several months ago. We have a number of companies across the country that have come together in order to fight the FCC order, which is detrimental to small companies and their rural customers. Historically, we've been regulated by our state Public Utility Commission. More recently, though, in recent years, it's been more, the FCC has been more into our business, and then especially with the passing of this order back in November of 11, they are now clearly the driving force behind all the regulation that we have to deal with. Well, locally, the Small Company Coalition, has been trying to make people aware through a grassroots effort, local politicians, our customers, of the devastating effect of the FCC's order. Statewide, our PUC has filed a lawsuit against the order, and that lawsuit now, along with there's a number of other parties, 30-some other parties that are involved in this, has been consolidated in the 10th Circuit Court in Denver. Clearly, Congress has the authority, since the FCC is accountable to Congress. And as far as our message to the politicians, it would be, you need to take a hard look at this order and look at the devastating, potentially devastating effect it will have on small companies and, more importantly, their rural customers. Ultimately, we recognize the need for reform, so ultimately we would say stop the order from being implemented until we have a time to really analyze the results and then come up with a plan, a common sense plan that doesn't favor, in particular, small companies or large companies, but something that was based on objective, just an objective view of all the facts. We recognize that there's a need for reform. Things have changed. Technology has advanced. We need a new system that addresses today's communications world. We would first of all say, let's hold this order, put it on hold, and then open the record again so that we can, all the facts are looked at and viewed in an objective way so that we can come up with a more predictable regulation. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty. This order has created a lot of uncertainty. It's very difficult for small business owners and executives to plan. There's, again, just this uncertainty is creating a lot of issues. How do you invest, for example, in a network that you don't know what kind of revenues are going to be generated from that investment? We need reform. But we need a common sense reform. And that doesn't mean that reform favors small guys, big guys. It needs to be well balanced and reasoned, and it needs to be looked at in an objective way. So no solution is going to cater to any one group. And the problem with this order that we're looking at, it really is, it's a large company order and really caters to those big guys. We need somebody to take a step back. For number one, we need to stop this order because it clearly misses the mark. And then reevaluate the facts and listen with an objective and open mind to the concerns of all players here, but then with the intent of trying to get it right, a reasonable solution. In fact, the Small Company Coalition does have its own plan that we believe accomplish the objectives of the National Broadband Plan, but without the devastating effects on the small companies.